Hello guys, the GB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have Team Interstellar versus Clapper, and this is going to be another Iron Man from the $1,000 Iron Man tournament, and this is the losers bracket, so the losing team will be knocked out of the tournament, and the winning team will proceed on in. Also, make sure to check out GG Jibriel's YouTube and Twitch link down below. He's the one that hosted this tournament. Also, make sure to check out Team Interstellar's YouTube channel, but we'll see Team Interstellar go first, 45 versus 40. We have Habakuri, Saji, Mitsurugi, Mir, Droll, Pre-Prep. They have Maliss and Underground, GWC, I Meet You, Imperm, Terraforming. So it sucks that they open the Pre-Prep with the Ritual spell, because you can't use this because it has to add the Ritual spell from deck to hand. I mean, obviously later on we might be able to if we can use this effect to put itself back in deck, but right now we can't. Also, shout out to everybody who's been subscribing recently, because we're already at like 55.25, like a quarter of the way to 56k, and we just hit 55k like a couple days ago, so that's crazy. But normal Saji effect to hit with Imperm. Okay, now we're gonna go Habakuri effect, go ahead summon out the Arasama, and then tribute the Arasama effect goes search, so I can grab out the Murakumo, and then we have the Mirror to go ahead tribute, and then bring out the Murakumo, and then activate the Habakuri effect to go search. That's gonna grab out prayers from the deck to the hand, and then activate prayers, tribute the Murakumo, search out the Kusanagi, and then lose 800, special summon out the Kusanagi, new chain link, we're gonna go Kuzan 1, targeting prayer, Amino 2, blue Amino. There's no way this is what you call blue Amino. They're like both blue, but okay. Activate Murakumo, Chainlink 2, and then Mirror Chainlink 3 to put itself back into the deck. And then go ahead, search out the trap cards so they do main deck it. Add back prayer, bring out the Murakumo. Okay, we're actually just going to leave it in grave, not going to bring it out. Okay, that could also make sense, especially if we're trying to get like X search 2. It's not like you need it on board when you have prayers. So duo search cross sword, and then activate cross special sword. Technically should have not activated cross yet, but I guess it doesn't matter. You know, they don't have another imperm. They would have imperm duo. Go ahead, dump duo special X effect goes search. Grab out node Ryzeal, and then we can activate the pre-prep. Grab out the Ritual spell, and then grab out the Habakuri from the decks in the hand, and then overlay for Dugusto Emerald, and then activate Emerald effect to go put back Arasama, Habakuri, and Saji. Okay. I kind of like using the Dugusto Emerald here, because you have like a free rank 4 to make, and you're either making like Dugaris to draw, Gallant to search Nib, or you're going like Emerald for this. Wait, did I already say Emerald? I don't even know, but either way, you're going to go for like one of those to get like the free value, unless you're trying to end with Babushka on field with the detonator. So they're going to draw into another copy of Droll, make Eclipse Twins, and then special out Node. And then we have Node, send Eclipse Twins, special back out Sword, activate the Eclipse Twins effect to go ahead and special summon back out the Duo Drive. Whoa, ooh, they might be thinking about bringing out Emerald here. But no, they're going to go ahead and bring out Duo for the negate, and then Duo effect to attach. Overlay, go for a detonator, and then detonator effect to attach. Okay, set traps, set prayer, and then go ahead and pass turn. I wonder if this was done correctly though. Maybe we shouldn't have duo drive effect to attach X and then cross put back duo plus X. Now you may say like that does make it to where like you don't have Eclipse Twins set up, but we'll have it set up after we cross negate detaching the Emerald. I guess like it's like a little bit more risky, but I really would prefer us getting a draw here. Okay, go ahead, pass, they draw MTP, and then they just submit defeat. On to game number 2 now. We'll go ahead and see Clapper decide to go first. Opening hands, we have Nib, Fua, Harpies, Ash, Node. They have Thrust, Shifter, Droll, March Hare, Impulse. Okay, so both players brick. Do we drop Fua in standby? We do not, okay. Which I agree with not dropping it in standby. I think dropping this card in standby is crazy. Well, actually, I don't think it's like that crazy. Like, you're playing around talents, but I think you should just hold it. There's also like, you know, like game states like this do happen where like your opponent does brick. Go ahead, activate Shifter, set Impulse, pass, draw Thrust. Okay, or if their only starter like plays in the Fua really bad, they might just like pass turn. But draw Thrust, go main phase, activate Harpies, and then pass. Okay, actually I don't get the point of activating Harpies there at all. I was thinking like in case if that was TB11, they summon from deck, and then you can normal node beat over it, but it doesn't make sense because we're under shifter, so the Dormouse will just special summon itself back anyways. I guess that could make Thrust live, depending on what we can set off of this. So, like, maybe that was a good Thrust, but I think other than TB11 specifically, it's bad. Like, I think probably you hold Harpies there, and then try to hit, like, 2 back row next turn. It's not like we're pushing this turn anyways. They go ahead, set Thrust, normal summon out Cat, effect, chain Ash Blossom, and then make Lingeribo, activate March Hare. Yeah, they don't Fua before they could make Lingeribo. I guess we want to kind of like force them to give us a draw. So they go Banish, Special, pay 300, Special, and then now we can Fua, and now it's like, odds are the opponent's not gonna like pass with this. They will like bare minimum make like a red ransom at least. So now they are thinking about what the next action is. They're gonna go ahead, link off, bring out red ransom. We draw in the Mitsurugi mirror. They're gonna search out Maliss in the mirror. Lots of mirrors. Battle phase, go ahead, swing for 23, and then main phase 2, go Thrust, set the Mischief of the Gnomes, which is really good against Ryzeal cards. It's also pretty good against Mitsurugi too. Then they're going to go ahead, set Maliss in the mirror. And then try to go end of main, activate Nib. Like, I think this card's really good against this deck. Go ahead, drop the Nib, make a set where they don't have Maliss in the mirror, banish Red Ransom, and then set up 2 interruptions off of that, which is crazy that Red Ransom is 2 interruptions. Like, this card became so much better when we got Maliss in the mirror. And this card was already really good. Pass, draw on the prayer. Okay, so now we'll go main phase, activate prayer. Decides to go main phase for this, by the way. Specifically allowing ourselves to get hit with draw, which will make the opponent think that we have talents, which will make them question if they could game us or not. Is that what we're trying to do here? I think that's what we're trying to do. Also, we let them go main phase. We didn't even mischief them, which I think is crazy, right? What if they just, like, normal summon Ice? You're gonna look so dumb. Or even just, like, normal Saji. Like that'll still be solid. Like, even if it's level 3, they can still do stuff with it. Because they can use it for the ritual to bring out Murakumo. Because Murakumo in hand will be a 7, and Saji on field will be a 3. Then you contribute a 4 from deck to bring out a 7 from hand. But activate Habakuri, bring out Aramasa, tribute Aramasa effect goes search, grab out the Murakumo, and then activate the ritual spell, tribute the Habakuri to bring out the Murakumo, and then Murakumo 2, Habakuri 1, search out Saji, wipe the board, normal Saji effect goes search, grab out prayers from the decks of the hand, and then we'll go battle phase, and then go ahead, swing. So the opponent did not drop draw, which did save them from getting hit with Thrust. I don't know what Thrust was going to go for exactly, because it's not like we were going first. And, you know, if you're going first, maybe, you know, Sanctum. But going second, probably not Sanctum. Maybe, though. Maybe. Because, like, if you try to turn skip the opponent, then next turn, you want to turn skip them again. So Lizardos draw into a sword. And then just set prayer, pass. They draw into White Rabbit. They only have 500 life points, which is a little tough. They have Maliss in the mirror, normal White Rabbit effect, chain Murakumo, and then they just pitch the draw to allow it to go through. Set GWC, bring out Red Ransom, and then gain 23. And then now they can just go White Rabbit, Red Ransom. Yeah, this is just going through. Grab out Field Spell. Okay, and now thinking from here on where to go next, they go activate Field Spell, banish Dormouse. Doesn't try to go, like, access code, maybe, to force out the Murakumo. We're going to banish Dormouse, pay to summon itself out, and then Dormouse effect. Yeah, because if we try to do anything on summon, they do have Maliss in the mirror live, which can just negate the Murakumo board wipe. So now Dormouse, banish March Hare effect, pay 300, add itself back. Okay, now link off, go into access code effect the gang attack, and then on resolution, we're going to go prayer, tribute the Murakumo, search out Kusanagi, lose 800 to summon Kusanagi, and then new chain link Murakumo 1, Kusanagi 2, so add back prayer, and then go ahead, search for prayer, and then special summon out, and then activate the effect of board wipe, chain Maliss and mirror to go ahead and negate that, and now it's pretty simple here, right? I guess we only have one attribute engrave, But we haven't even used Red Ransom to summon back out yet. So we have access code banish. This also has the effect to protect, but that doesn't even matter. I was going to say, I'm still just popping Murakumo there, force them to protect. It doesn't change anything there to use the effect this turn to add back. Summon out Red Ransom, and then we're just going to go battle, game. So on to game number 3 now. We'll see Mitsurugi go first. Opening hands, we have Saji, Imperm, Lancia, Prayer, Trap. They have March Hare, Dormouse, MTP, Ash, Dominus Impulse. So we go activate Prayer, tribute Saji, and then in response they Ash Blossom that. Okay. I feel like normally people would Dominus Impulse that, and then Ash the Saji. But they just Ash, and then we go Saji effect goes search, grab out Prayer. Because, like, they could have added Ritual Spell, but I guess I guess this makes sense. No, this is fine. Yeah, no, this is definitely fine. Because now we have Impulse for Ritual Spell. This, like, cannot be stopped. Where, like, Ash Blossom could potentially be stopped, too, by, like, called by Crossout. Well, Impulse just won't get hit with any of those. Which I do think that, like, I think I brought this up in a video, too, where if Crossout was at 3, I think this deck would side Crossout with Impulse. They draw Fua, and then go draw phase, activate Prayer, no tribute, grab out the Habakuri, and then go main phase. We let them go main phase, by the way, so we could have got punished here pretty badly. Because we're going to go ahead Lancia. Also, hold on. There's no way. They go normal Dormouse effect, then we chain Lancia. Yo, there's no... Look, bro, look. I just got to bring it up, right? Team Interstellar, they're from Ohio, right? I'm from Ohio, right? They should not be chaining Lancia to Dormouse effect. Just do it on the summon. How many times do I got to say this in the videos, man? It's been like 5 months. If you chain it in response to the effect, they still gain 600 attack. Why are we letting them gain 600 attack, right? There's just no point. There's just no point. You can't find a reason. They go March Hare, banish MTP, sure. Link off into Splash Mage effect to summon back out. They said sure, which I actually... Do I agree with that? I think it's interesting, right? It's interesting because you could get punished really hard by backup or wizard, because then they still have Link 3 afterwards, so then your Imperm was basically just a blank. Like, it stopped a random body that they just didn't need in the end, especially if it's backup. Okay, now Link off, go into Red Ransom effect, and then we Imperm this. Yeah. Are they thinking? Ooh, okay. Let's think this through, right? Because, like, you know, think this through from their perspective. The opponent has not really shown us any other cards in hand. We don't have a read on any other cards in hand. Yeah, very small range. Because, like, all we've really done is, like, seen Ash. We've really only given them one spot to Ash us. Like, they could have Ashed Prayer, but they didn't have to. They could have been Ash or Impulse, and they just didn't have to use it. They decided not to. So if they have backup or Wizard, what do they get? Let's say worst case scenario, backup, special backup, search Wizard, discard the other card in hand, special Wizard, special back out a mouse named from the graveyard, and then now what? Do they game you? No. Oh, are they close? Because they do have access code. Wizard has 18 attack, I think. I think it summons in defense. Does Wizard affect... Ooh, actually, I need to read Wizard now. Can it change any monster on the field battle position? I'm actually curious. Because that may have been the difference between game or not through Imperm on Red Ransom. But, like, this is what I'm afraid of. Them just searching Quick Play Spell, and then going main phase 2, and now we can set Quick Play Spell, and then they're going to pass. Also, this is really good because now their Fu is still alive. Draw Bonfire, well, assuming they don't have to Impulse first. So now they're going to go activate Habakuri effect, or Habakuri effect. Go ahead, bring out Kusanagi, tribute Kusanagi, and then Kusanagi effect to add back Prayer. And then we are able to activate Bonfire, chaining Prayer. Okay. So it's like if this gets hit with something specific, then we know this can grab something else maybe. Maybe we're thinking this will grab X. But if this gets stopped, maybe we're thinking we grab Ice. Which I like this. I like this. It also gives the opponent more opportunities to make mistakes. Like, sometimes you just gotta, like, activate a card in response because you can. Like, I like doing that in Pearly. Like, activate the field spell, chain a quick play spells, chain link 2. It's no difference between doing it on the next chain. But sometimes, who knows, they might make a mistake. Go ahead, bring out Saji, lose 800, And then Bonfire, search out Ice. Okay, they do not have a Trap Engrave. Saji effect, try to search out the Ritual spell. That's obviously going to get hit with Malice in the Mirror. Also, you may wonder why they didn't just like bring out Saji, tribute Saji, and it's because Saji's just a one of now. You don't want to play too many of these Mitsurugi names, because these cards make you brick. Or draw hands where you have like multiple normal summons, and that just doesn't do anything. So now they're going to go Red Ransom, Chain Fua, which is pretty solid here. Banish White Rabbit, and then now they have the White Rabbit effect and Red Ransom effect. Go ahead, search out field spells, summon out White Rabbit. Like, this little thing here is so good. Like, Red Ransom and the Quick Play spell makes this deck so much better in the Lancia, too. White Rabbit, set GWC. Normally, you get to set MTP there, which will give you another interruption plus follow-up, so then you'll have normal summon plus extender as your follow-up while setting up interruptions. Through the best card against your deck, well, one of them. Technically, I think Chaos Hunter's like the best, but only if it sticks. Normal Ice, Ice effect to go special, and then they're going to chain Dominus Impulse on that. It's a really bad Dominus Impulse, right? Yeah, I don't like that Dominus Impulse. Actually, it might be fine, right? Because if they have to make duo, then we're getting multiple draws, and that's what we want, right? Okay. Let's see how Ryzeal decides to play here, because they're definitely going to make duo. They draw the AI Meet You, which is another copy of Backup or Wizard. Go ahead, duo, search out Cross plus Sword. A lot more people are playing this card. I think this card will be played more than Silent Mining. I think Silent Mining, just having the discard one is too much, especially when the card that you really want to be searching also says discard one. Like, now it feels like you're discarding a lot, which is fine if you're full comboing, but if you're not full comboing, it's not fine. Or if you're playing into a board, it's not as fine. Special out Sword, Sword effect, grab out X. I'm yapping a lot today, but I'm spitting information. Okay, but we're going to go ahead, search out X, activate Cross for fun. Okay. Sure, just doing that before special in X, because we have the option to, I guess. X, go ahead, search out Node, and then overlay to summon out a Detonator. Detonator effect to attach. They get to draw into Chessy Cat, special Node, and then Node effect to send duo, special back out Ice. Okay. We have Dugaris, which can special back out Lancia. Yeah, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, I like this. They draw Thrust. We do let them draw a lot, though. Dugaris to revive from the grave, bring out Lancia. Cross effect to put back and draw. And then that draws into a X Ryzeal. That's good. Having like Ryzeal follow up. Battle phase, beat over White Rabbit. This is still at 12 even though Red Ransom switches it. And then Detonator to beat over the Red Ransom. Main phase 2, set trap, set imperm, and then try to pass turn. They draw backup. And also, like, we couldn't summon this in attack because this has to summon in defense. Which is also good to know because this can't summon back like Link monsters and stuff. So now we're going to go draw phase, Lancia. Their Thrust is live now, but it can't grab Talons. I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to grab with Thrust, though, but they're going to start with it, grab Harpies, which I think is completely fair there, wiping out Cross and 2 back row, and Cross also not just being a negate, but also being follow-up, because they did Lancia, so this game will most likely not end this turn. So go ahead, wipe out the back row, and then activate GWC, bring out Red Ransom. But who knows? Maybe there's like some weird argument to not using Thrust like that instead of, I guess like you can't Thrust really take either because they just chain pop. They already have another XYZ engrave too. Okay, so now they gain 23, and then they're thinking if they even want to use the effect to search field spell. Wait, this is also game 3, right? Hold on. This is game 3. I'm not tripping. Yeah, this is game 3. And Clapper was going second, so they probably don't even have another field spell in deck. Typically, you side out a Terraforming and 1 field spell going second into Detonator decks because of how bad field spell is into Detonator. While your other cards still, like, they're not bad. Go ahead, link off in the Cyber's Wicked, and it also plays way harder in the Lancia too, which is like another thing. Activate backup, special summon out, backup effect, grab out March Hare, so we're not using the Cyber's Wicked effect to go search low. Then discard. Does that mean we only play 1 backup, or are we just trying to save the banish effect for later on? Which might be the case. AI Meet You, reveal White Binder, go ahead, search out Wizard. Okay, now let me read Wizard effect real quick. You banish card from your field or graveyard, target 1 monster the opponent controls. Okay. I was going to say, because this card has to summon back out in defense, but if you can banish this to target a monster you control to switch its battle position, then the one game we would have been able to bring back Dormouse in defense and then switch it to attack, and then it would have been 15, 27 plus 53 with the access code. Oh, that would have been insane. That would have been insane. That would have been exact game. Like, that would have been a crazy punish for the Imperm on Red Ransom, but this can't do that. I wish it could. Honestly, I wish it could do that. That'd be, like, more useful part of this card. This card does come up, but it would be more useful if it could, like, change your own guys. Now we'll go ahead, link off 3, bring out Cryptor, and also, like, you have to remember, Cyber's Wicked has the effect where, like, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and Cyber's Monster's card points to cannot be destroyed by card effects. So now we're gonna go ahead. Oh wait, we couldn't use Wicked. I'm tripping. We're under Lancia. Yeah, I was thinking for a second because as a commentator, I tend to mess up more than I do as a player, and that's because commentating, you're like going so fast and you're not thinking about like the little things. Not little things, but like also like turn things like Lancia, Droll, things like that are like the easiest to miss. They can't use Trap because Lancia, yep, and the opponent lets them know. Very good to know that. It's like same thing with like Fiendsmith in Paradise. Lancia shuts that down. So sometimes when you have Lancia, it's not worth trying to push so hard to make Paradise go through. So now we have to skip our main phase because of Dugaris. But we can just go battle phase, attack Cryptor. Then they're going to go Cryptor effect. We're going to go Chain Detonator, pop itself because we have Eclipse Twins under it. And then they have to banish a card off their field now. So they're going to go ahead and banish Cryptor. Oh, also, yeah, they got to take 23 from I Meet You. That's a good catch on their end because they didn't summon out the White Binder. Also, another thing to note with this card that doesn't come up too much, but you can't activate monster effects for the rest of the turn after this card resolves except for Cyber's monsters. So, you know, just note that they can't, like, Lizard Dose, they can't Ash Blossom, they can't do anything like that afterwards. So now we're going to go ahead and go Eclipse Twins 1, Cryptor 2, and now they can Cyber's Wicked effects. So we're going to go Detonator 1, Wicked 2, then they can go ahead banish. Oh, wait, this is actually crazy, too, because they can banish, like, Red Ransom or White Rabbit. I guess it depends. Like, if they do have another field spell, they're banishing Red Ransom. If they don't have another field spell, they're not banishing Red Ransom. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, because the follow-up would just be too good to not banish Red Ransom there. So they're going to go ahead and White Rabbit. Also noting that they're summoning it to this zone, which is not the zone that Wicked points to. So now it can be destroyed by card effects, which would shut down the MTP. But we're going to let it go. And they're going to go ahead set MTP. We're going to try to beat over Wicked. They're going to just, you know, sure, let it go. Then we're going to summon Zeus, which this may have really caught the opponent off guard. Like, Zeus hasn't been that popular in Ryzeal decks for a while. But the Mitsurugi version specifically should be playing it. Because it comes up with Ice Ryzeal, but it also comes up sometimes when you're just, like, using Mitsurugi cards to get into a rank 4. And you make, like, King of the Pharaoh Limbs to get stopped. And now you could just Zeus and, you know, that's like another interruption. And also, since it's not expected, it honestly wins you a good amount of games. I don't want to say too many because you're not summoning it that many, but it does win you a lot of games. It has a pretty high win rate, it feels like, in this deck. But we're going to go activate Trap, and then in response, chain Zeus. They're going to chain MTP, which this is fine. Because they're going to go ahead, banish Zeus, search Dormouse. Well, search Dormouse, banish Zeus. Board gets wiped. Trap summons back. We don't have to tribute anything for Trap because it says tribute one other monster you control. And we don't have another monster. So, like, at the activation, we had another monster, but on resolution, we don't, so it'll still summon. You can't activate it without another monster, though. Now they're going to go Saji effect, grab out Ritual Spell. We're going to go dump King of the Pharaoh Limbs. Now, one thing is, our opponent used all their monsters during the battle. So, Talents is not live. They're going to go ahead X. They said, hold on. You are good. Oh, the opponent said hold on. Okay, for some reason I thought that was Team Interstellar. I was like, oh, did we do something wrong? Is that illegal? But dump King of the Pharaoh Limbs, summon out X. X effect goes search, grab out Sword. Yeah, we don't need King of the Pharaoh Limbs. We already have all of our Mitsurugi cards that we need. So grab out Sword, overlay, summon out Emerald. Oh my gosh, and Emerald's so good here too. Trying to think exactly how we want to play this, but I think, like, we want to do Garrus again, right? And just Lancia them again. Yeah, we're going to detach, put back X, Detonator, do Garrus. Yeah, I like putting back to Garrus. And then we draw into 7 Tachyon. Wow, we kind of have, like, an almost infinite loop here, while having, like, Eclipse Twins plus Dugaris plus Emerald. Like, it's just so easy to keep Dugarsing them if they're not setting up enough interruptions. So go ahead, special out Sword, which is going to be really hard for them to set up interruptions through this next Lancia. It's going to be, like, basically impossible. Sword, grab out Ice. Well, while we also have a board, because they could go for, like, an IP play, but that's not going to be enough versus us anyways. Now we go Ice in the node. That gives us Detonator. And then we have Detonator effect to attach. Personally, I like summoning Detonator with Eclipse Twins under it in the main monster zone, because you know when Eclipse Twins effects triggers, you're going to need to summon to the main monster zone. So personally, I like summoning my other XYZs in the extra monster zone. That's like a little thing to note, but that is something that can come up, especially if you're playing like Futso. I think that will come up more. They make Dugaris effect to revive, bring out Lancia. So we're going to skip our next main phase 1 again, but that's fine. Especially because this time we have enough damage to we'll probably be able to go for game. Dump the Habakuri to bring out Murakumo. Habakuri effect. Grab out Prayer from the decks of the hand. Yeah, we already went through Trap. So now we can go ahead. Otherwise, like, searching Trap is so good. Because its graveyard effect is just ridiculous. Or, like, there are some times where, like, you search Trap and then you discard it. It doesn't come up that often, but there are times where you do that. Now we'll go ahead and end of main, activate March Air, and let's go. I mean, to be fair, they like had to, right? If they don't March Air, the next turn they just don't have enough to push through the board anyways. So they just have to March Air here. It just happens to make our Talents live. We're going to Murakumo that, and then they'll discard. Yep, and that's good. We want to see them discarding here. Now they're going to go ahead and activate Red Ransom effect. We're thinking if we want a Detonator pop. Yeah, we're going to go ahead Detonator pop. This also makes it to where Maliss links this card points to cannot be targeted with opponent's card effects. So they want to be able to target Red Ransom if they use it, I guess. But they said think of banish from deck. No, we will not, because if they banish from deck and use an effect, that means the opponent will have an opportunity to Detonator pop this. I think maybe we should have just gone for it anyways and hope that they don't pop it. Because I think if we don't banish from deck, I don't think we have enough to ever like push through. Also, I know some people side March Air down to 2 going second, so that might be another thing, because adding that back to hand seems pretty good here. We would start running a little bit low on life points, though, especially with that White Binder in rotation to just set GWC for free. Activate Talents, just rip the Dormouse from hand that they knew was there from MTP. Pass, they draw phase, activate Lancia. Oh, they actually said fine. Which I don't like that. I think, like, I guess, like, we're not guaranteed using it this turn, right? That's what they're thinking. Okay, let's think this through real quick. Let's say they just normal summon a random body, make access code. Wait, no, we have prayer. No, their board never mattered. I'm dropping Lancia. No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to. Never mind. Because even if they top deck Allure, you just negate it. Yeah, you just negate it. The game's over. Yeah, you don't have to Lancia and draw phase. I like not using it there. Go ahead, activate Prayer, and then they just submit defeat. GG, same account next. Okay. Now we have Team Interstellar versus Clapper, and we'll go ahead and see Team Interstellar on Mitsurugi decide to go first. 45 versus 43. We have Ritual Spell, X, Fua, Mir, and Ash. They have Habakuri, Aramasa, Trap, Kusanagi, and Droll. So this is what I meant. Like, the Mitsurugi cards are good, but honestly, like, in your opening hand, you don't... Honestly, I'd be fine with not drawing any of them, right? Besides the Habakuri. Like, this card's good to draw. Aramasa's fine to draw. Like, this is a starter. They might be playing multiples of this even because it's a starter, even though I disagree with that. I don't think you actually need that much Mitsurugi. I think a lot of people add extra Mitsurugi stuff to the deck, but, like, your Ryzeals get to Mitsurugi, your Mitsurugi gets to Ryzeal. I think your engines flow well together, but to be fair, like, trying to play Ryzeal into Mitsurugi plays into hand traps a lot more, while if you play Mitsurugi into Ryzeal, even if they hand trap you, you feel fine, because you're going to get Murakumo, so you're going to end up, like, ripping 2 from hand, basically, if they want to hand trap you, unless if it's, like, on Mitsurugi cards. Dump Duo, Special X effect goes Search Sword, on Resolution, Drop Troll, and Lockbird, which is really good here. It's a really good hand trap against this deck. Go ahead, summon Detonator effect to attach. Like, we might see this card. I don't think this card will be in main decks. I think this card will be more of a side deck thing. Because main deck, it's, like, really bad against Maliss. But, like, to be fair, like the other spot you would have in this. Like if you just wanted another like blank hand trap that works going first or second. If it's like Valor or something, it's not gonna stop Maliss anyways most of the time. If it's Meow, then it might. Like Meow is a really good card, but they draw Fua, activate the Habakuri. Sucks that they drew Fua too. Go ahead, bring out Saji, tribute Saji. Saji effect goes search the Ash Blossom it. Normal summon out Kusanagi, effect to add back Saji to hand. Okay, I like that, because next turn we need to get Ritual Spell to hand. Crash, that way Fua's alive. I like everything we're doing here. Pass, draw Saji, drop Fua. I like everything we're doing here. Even dropping Fua in draw phase, I know it can seem a little dumb, because what if the opponent has no plays? We don't know they have any plays, so what if they just go battle phase, attack, pass? But low key, if they do have a play and we drop Fua and draw phase, they might be like, okay, my hand is like, you know, maybe like a non-engine card, you know, 2 engine cards and a brick. You know, maybe I don't play in the Fua, give them a couple of draws, potentially get hand trapped, and then pass, and they have too much to overwhelm us. So maybe I'll just attack with Detonator, have my non-engine card pass, and hope that stopping Saji plus Detonator is enough. That might be what their thought process is. So they might not attempt to go for game. But if you chain Fua in response to an effective special summon, they might be like, okay, well now I'm committed. I'm going to give them the extra draw and try to push for game. So I always say this, but Fua is a really tricky card because it seems like it's really easy to use, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not. It can be same thing with like Maxi and Master Duel. Sometimes it's not as easy as it just appears. Go ahead, Saji search Prayer, activate Prayer, no tribute to search, and then we could just search out Murakumo, right? And then Ritual Spell to summon Murakumo. We know that they're not playing Impulse. Well, unless if they're playing Pure. If they're playing Pure, they can play Impulse, but probably not Pure, because Pure is not nearly as good. Now we're gonna go Habakuri effect. Yeah, we haven't used it this game. It was the opponent who used it to go ahead, bring out the Aramasa, and then tribute Aramasa. They get to draw Fua, and then activate Aramasa effect to go ahead and search. Grab out the Murakumo. Okay. Activate to summon from hand, and then they just submit the feat. Yeah, so on to the next game now. We'll go ahead and see Clapper go first. They did play around Impulse there, though, because if they had it on Ritual Spell, we just activate the other Ritual Spell, the Mirror, and then go for game. So I like how they played that. They actually played around Impulse in case that they were playing Pure. Well played. We got called by Murakumo, Sword, Bonfire, Fua. They have Sword, Kusanagi, Prayer, Habakuri, or I don't know if I'm saying this card's name right. Habakuri, like curry. Then we got Nib. Okay, Nib's really good going first. Obviously, against this deck, it's like a little bit worse because, you know, these cards play into it pretty well, and Ryzeals, if they can get to duo without you stopping them. But, like, Nib is, like, the ultimate going first card. A lot of people think of Nib as a going second card, because it is, but that card's better going first than it is going second. Go ahead, tribute Habakuri, bring out Saji, like, search Saji, summon Saji, and then Habakuri 1, Saji 2. Grab out Ritual Spell, grab out Trap, and I really like going Prayer Tribute this as the first play, because this makes it to where you have 2 opportunities to search Ritual Spell, so it makes it really awkward for them to interrupt Saji, which is usually the choke point for that engine. Normal summon Sword, search out X Ryzeal, on resolution, drop Fua, okay, and now from here we go special summon out X Ryzeal, dump Duo, X effect goes search out Sword Ryzeal. If they dump Duo, they probably play 2. Ritual Spell to go ahead and bring out the Murakumo from deck. They get the draw 1 here. They draw on the Perulia. And then they get their Kusanagi effect to add back from the graveyard to the hand the Prayer. So now they have Trap plus Prayer set up already. And now they just overlay to summon out Duo. Okay, so we're planning on giving them more draws to also set up Cross. They draw into Mitsurugi Mirror. Duo effect to attach. I think, like, the pre-prep stuff is really weird, because I honestly think these cards are just trash. Like, I don't think they're actually good. But I think specifically in the Maliss, they are good. Just because they help you beat Dominus Impulse. I wouldn't even say they're good then. Just the fact that, like, you can draw a way to beat them is, like, really clean. It's really nice. But they're going to go Duo, search out Cross, and then search out Ice. I'm still iffy on if these cards are actually worth it or not, though. Now, on res, drop Perulia, and they can go Murakumo effect. which is really good about setting this up turn 1. But we're just going to discard our own Murakumo, and we also have Mirror in hand that can summon this back from grave, so it's not like that big of a deal that we're getting rid of it here. Activate Cross effect to go put back and then draw. And then that will draw into X Ryzeal, which is not what they wanted there. They did not want more Ryzeals when they already had 2 of them. I said this before, I'd rather see 2 Ryzeals than 0 Ryzeals, but I'd rather see 0 Ryzeals than 3 Ryzeals. And then they go ahead and end of main, pass, draw Thrust, and then go main phase, activate Bonfire, grab out X Ryzeal. Okay, dumb Mirror Logic, Special X. Also, Called By is just good against this deck going second. Like, you can hit, like, Draw, obviously, but you can also hit, like, Engine. X1, Mirror Logic 2, target Cross. Go ahead, search out Sword. Okay, searching out Sword, even though we already have one in hand, maybe that means we sided out Node. I mean, that card is bad, like, to draw. But I don't know. I never liked the idea of siding out Node in, like, any build. I liked playing Node in every build. I think Node's a good card. They're going to go ahead and search out Ice. And then on res here, they're going to go Prayer, Tribute the Murakumo. And then we have to chain Called By. Otherwise, they're just going to summon the Murakumo back from the graveyard. They can play around stuff like Called By. If they play into it, like if they play in the Ash, well, I guess they play around Ash with Cross. They might actually summon back out Kusanagi. They might actually do that. But okay, we're going to go Called By on it. There's no point of risking it there. Yeah, there's just no point of risking it on our end. So they search out the Habakuri and then bring out the Kusanagi by losing 800 and then effect to add back the Murakumo from the banished pile. But now our trap is not live. That is tough. They also Mirror Logic negated Cross. Oh, wait. Yeah, Mirror Logic negated Cross. Yeah, so they were always going to bring back out Murakumo there. They were never bringing out Kusanagi. Well, technically we don't know. But if they were bringing out Kusanagi and then activating the Murakumo effect, I guess they play around Ash anyways because it'd be chain blocked. So I guess Ash isn't the deciding factor. Huh. I guess it's fair to play, like, into Ash there because we're not playing into it. Be Kusanagi too. Activate Thrust. Go ahead, grab out Talents, but they should just Called By anyways because if they do happen to play around it, then we get punished. And now we have Talents to take Duo, Overlay to summon out Detonator. Detonator effect to attach, and then we can go Duo effect to detach and go search. Ooh, this is looking, that's just game. Grab out Cross, grab out Node. Yeah, that's just game. Activate Cross, normal Ice effect goes special. Whenever Talents takes Duo, man, it's always so broken. They bring out X from deck. And then Overlay, make King of the Frail Limbs. And then activate Nib. Said anything else in chain, and then cross negate, and then yeah, they just submit defeat. GG's. Can't beat Thrust, Called By, double Charmy. That's fair. Yeah, it is really hard to beat. They would have needed to potentially drawn, like, I think they needed to not draw Ryzeal, as much Ryzeal. If they drew a little bit different, I guess, like, technically, you could say, like, making duos a little bit weird there. I'd have to go back and look, though. I think it might actually be fine for them to make duo where they made it, because it gave them the cross draw, plus if they didn't get hit with Perulia, then they were just going to go to the next step. And I think us getting a draw to give the opponent a draw is worth it, depending on what's in our deck, because we should, like, we already went through a decent amount of engine at that point. So we should have more non-engine stacked to the top, and I don't know what non-engine we side in going first, but stuff like Judgment, maybe Metal Tronus for the mirror match, you know, Ash Blossom, like these cards can be really good to draw. But alright, that's going to be it for the video, and I'm going to be uploading one more Iron Man today, and then also later on I'm going to be streaming, so make sure to go ahead and stay tuned for that. I think I'm actually going to play Mitsurugi on stream today. So I'll leave a link down below to my Twitch, and sorry for this video being so long, but I've been yapping a lot. This Iron Man probably could have been like half the time if I wasn't yapping as much, but I want to give out as much information as I can. You know, after yesterday when I started the giveaway, or maybe it was the day before, I don't know. At some point I started the giveaway though. I got a lot of nice comments, alright? You know what? That fired me up. So you know what? I'm going to give more information in the videos. We are only going to get better from here, alright? More info. You want to top the YCS? Hey, you should be watching DB Grinder. A guy like me is not going Chainlink 2 Lancea to Dormouse, right? That could be the diff. Between you becoming a third place merchant like me, unable to make it to the finals. But guess what? We're not getting fourth, baby. We're getting third. We're leaving with a prize card at bare minimum. All right, and with that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.